Hello, welcome to Granada Reports, live with the latest across the northwest.
Hello there. On the programme this evening,
the plea from Olivia's family ahead of her funeral: wear a splash of pink. And near to where a man with 2 guns shot her dead, a message to the government from a grieving community.
We know we've lost so many youth workers. You know, people are actually take kids in from communities and give them direction. You know, we've lost so much. That's just been absolutely decimated.
told he would never walk again, the Afghanistan veteran setting out on an emotional journey in memory of his dad, who was with him in his darkest hour.
Aiming for the top of the world, Liverpool boxer Natasha Jonas fighting in front of her own fans for the first time in 3 years.
Hi guys, who is having fried chicken over here with rice and peas?
A little taste of Jamaica in Stockport, how Mama Flo's been feeding children for free during the school holidays.
And this evening, a peaceful scene for many of us weather-wise to end the working week. All change this weekend. The forecast is coming up.
First tonight, everyone wear a splash of pink. That is the plea from the family of 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Korbel for anyone planning to attend her funeral.
Olivia will be laid to rest after a service at the church associated with her school at Dovecot in Liverpool.
Meanwhile, a massive hunt goes on for the man who shot her in her own home, a gunman seen on CCTV running away from the scene.
Well, our reporter Tim Scott is at St Margaret Mary's Catholic Church in Dovecot now, where Olivia's funeral will be held. Tim, it's going to be a very tough time for Olivia's family and the whole community.
Yes, Anne, indeed, hugely emotional. We've already had a vigil for little Olivia here at St Margaret and Mary's earlier this week, and in 2 weeks' time her family and the local community will come together for her funeral. The news was announced by a firm of local funeral directors, and in a notice they said Olivia, known as Liv, much loved daughter of Cheryl and stepdaughter of Jimmy, dearly loved sister of Ryan and Chloe, a loving granddaughter and great-granddaughter, and a very special niece and cousin. And that announcement gives an awful hint of just how many generations of family Olivia's killing will have touched. And as you've heard, people attending her funeral being asked to wear a splash of pink. Well, earlier today, I went for a walk around Dovecot with some local politicians. They were there to offer some kind of reassurance to the people who live there. Police, councillors and MPs came together in Dovecot today. This area is at the border of 2 local authorities, Liverpool and Knowsley, and both were represented. The walk around the area began just a few hundred yards from where Olivia Pratt-Korbel was shot. It was an exercise in reassurance, in letting local people know that they are there if they need to talk.
I think, you know, we are at the point now where people are starting to kind of, you know, move on with lives. They're going back to work, you know, day-to-day is happening. But we're very conscious that there will still be some of that anxiety, there will still be some of those concerns there, which is why I think we're keen to go out and talk to people today and just reassure them that just maybe because the police cordon's gone, we haven't forgotten, we are still here to support the community.
West Derby MP Ian Byrne called on the government to find more money and resources to help this community.
We got £500,000 from the Home Secretary, which is welcome, but it's a drop in the ocean, so what's required.
If somebody from the government was here with an open chequebook, what would you be asking for and how much?
You know, we know we've lost so many youth workers. You know, people are actually take kids in from communities and give them direction. You know, we've lost so much. That's just been absolutely decimated. And I think for me, that's something which we need to address. But this community knows exactly what it wants. And my job obviously is to talk to the community and then find out when we get the resource how it's going to be spent, because it needs to be long term.
The walk came as the police cordon on Kingsheath Avenue, where Olivia was shot, was removed. The flowers and tributes to the 9-year-old are now on this area of grass further away from Olivia's home. Yesterday, police released this footage of the man they say was responsible for killing Olivia. He's seen running away from the scene in the minutes after the shooting.
I want you to do the right thing for Olivia and her mum. And the right thing is to tell us where those guns are. I also recognise that there are people who could be hiding those guns who have no intention of telling us where they are. And if that's the case, then I place you in the same category as this vile man.
As well as the police pictures, Olivia's family released this video, calling on people to come forward and name those responsible for her murder.
And Tim, Olivia should have been going back to school next week. Tragically, she won't be there.
That's right, Mike. The new school year, of course, starts next Monday. Olivia's primary school is just a few yards down the road from where we're stood. It's sure to be a difficult time for the children who'll be asking why Olivia isn't there. We know that staff at the school have had specialist help this week, help to prepare them to answer some of those difficult conversations they're sure to have with pupils. Conversations to explain why little Olivia hasn't turned up for the new school term. Mike and
Tim Scott in Liverpool, thank you. And a reminder that all the footage released by Merseyside Police showing the prime suspect in Olivia's murder and also a man seen in the area at the time who detectives want to talk to is all on our website. Just head to itv.com/Granada, and if you recognise anyone or anything, please contact the police or Crime Stoppers.
This evening's other news, and a patient has been admitted to the Royal Liverpool Hospital with a new strain of the monkeypox virus. The infection has been linked to recent travel in West Africa. They're being treated in the hospital's specialist high consequence infectious disease unit. Contract tracing is now underway, but so far no other cases have been identified.
The father of the Warrington bomb victim, Tim Parry, says the foundation set up in his name is at serious risk of folding due to a lack of funding. Colin Parry says the charity The Peace Foundation, which promotes peace and non-violent conflict resolution, has been hit badly by the effects of the pandemic and could have less than 3 months to stay afloat unless they get a substantial donation. Yesterday would have been Tim's 42nd birthday.
It is serious, yes. I mean, obviously, if you can't cover your costs, then you're insolvent, like any business. Oh, right, we're a charity, but we're still a business. And if our income doesn't meet our needs, then we can't carry on trading. And it's as harsh a reality as that. That's why I'm appealing to somebody out there, or some organisations, if they can, to step in and help.
The flag of Pakistan is being flown from the town hall at Preston in solidarity with the country that's been devastated by massive floods. As we've reported, charities in Lancashire are appealing for support from the public to help the millions of people in Pakistan affected by the floods. Preston has one of our region's largest Pakistani communities.
2 people have been treated in hospital after being exposed to chemical fumes at a gym in Warrington. Swimmers at Othellis Club and Spa fell ill yesterday afternoon. The gym was later evacuated by the fire service over a suspected chlorine leak. A spokesperson for Othellis said health and safety procedures were followed during the incident.
Bob Dylan will perform in Manchester as part of his first tour in 5 years. The legendary singer-songwriter, who's now 81, will perform at the Manchester Apollo on the 2nd of November. The gig will be a non-phone event, with gig-goers required to lock their phones in a bag for the evening. Tickets go on sale on Monday. And Manchester's historic Wythenshawe Hall is set to reopen next week. It was forced to close due to an arson attack in 2016. Since then, the City Council has carried out a £6.7 million restoration project. Enhanced security has also been introduced to protect the building from further damage. And it's looking fabulous, isn't it? Next, the poignant story of an army nurse so badly injured in Afghanistan he thought he'd never walk again. Tony Williams almost lost his leg, but is now raising cash for the Help for Heroes military charity. And he's doing it by walking the same route his late father did while waiting for news of his injured son. Zoe Muldoon has been to meet him.
When Tony Williams was severely injured in Afghanistan, he was told he would never walk again. During a fierce fight with the Taliban in 2010, the army nurse was shot multiple times. His comrade was fatally wounded.
It instantly paralysed me waist down. I remember that feeling that I'm dying, and I never lost consciousness, and it's something I struggled with for a long time.
Tony was flown back to the UK and was in a coma for 6 days. He needed 52 units of blood and 36 hours of surgery.
I spent a good few months then lying on my back looking up at a ceiling with doctors saying to me, you're going to have to accept life in a wheelchair. And that hit me hard. The lads were still out in Afghan and I still felt like I had a job to do. I had to dig deep to find a reason to keep going.
Believing he would have to have his leg amputated, Tony turned to Help for Heroes. The veterans charity provided him with a leg brace. He's now pain-free and about to take on his biggest challenge yet, a 12-mile hike in memory of his dad Stephen, who died earlier this year. But the route they're taking isn't accidental. The family are retracing the steps his dad made the night he was told Tony might be dead.
We were told that there was 3 Mercian soldiers being flown back. They didn't know who was still alive. He just said that he felt this hopelessness, this guilt that he wanted his son to be alive, but what that also meant for the other families. It overwhelmed him. He was a sergeant major in the army himself. He ended up going into shock from what he described and started walking aimlessly.
Tony's fiancée Maria and 3 daughters Holly, Eleanor and Sophie are joining him on the walk, raising money for the charity that transformed their dad's life.
It must have been harder to walk and run and stuff. It was, he had much more spasms than he has now, but the leg brace helped him improve a lot with his walking.
While his dad will be at the forefront of his mind, Tony will also be remembering the other families who received that dreaded knock on the door.
He'd be proud of us as a family, he'd be proud of the girls especially, because he absolutely loved Sophie, Holly and Eleanor.
Life could have taken a darker path for this veteran, but the road ahead looks much brighter. Next year, Tony will walk Maria down the aisle when they marry. 2 unforgettable walks that he never dreamed possible. Zoe Muldoon, ITV News, Knowsley.
Yeah, what a year. Good luck to all of them.
Yeah, all the very best. Now then, lots of reasons to stay with us tonight. One of them being, it is that time of year. So come in, Victoria Grimes in Blackpool.
Hello, it is that time of year indeed. The stage is set. The set list ready, and this lot look like they're ready for a good time. We'll have more from the Blackpool Switch On very shortly.
And for those of you in Blackpool, hopefully you'll stay dry. There are a few showers around the Lancashire coast this evening. But for most places, overnight tonight is settled. The weekend forecast is coming up.
They're keen in Blackpool.
Yeah.
And here's what's still to come on the ITV News at 6:30 with Lucrezia.
The Queen is forced to miss yet another event. This time it's tomorrow's Braemar gathering in Scotland, the popular Highland Games, which she rarely misses. The decision is apparently for her comfort. Also, a mother's anger after a damning report into how police investigated her daughter's murder. Caught on camera, the assassination attempt on Argentina's vice president. And a record-breaking year for the Brits at the US Open. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Next, one of our favourite stories of the week, the kind-hearted pensioner whose generosity is making a huge impact in her community.
Yeah, she's affectionately known as Mama Flo and runs a small Caribbean takeaway in Stockport. During the pandemic, she handed out meals to doctors and nurses, and now she's turned her attention to hungry children.
Throughout the school holidays, Mama Flo's been feeding local youngsters free of charge to help ease the pressure on struggling families.
Our reporter Tasha Kachiri was there as she threw one last party before the start of the new school term.
How much years you cook for?
You want me to talk back?
Yes, please.
Me a cook back? Me a cook long time, darling. Me a cook long time.
Bringing some Jamaican swag to the streets of Stockport.
If you've been to Jamaica, this is the culture you get everywhere. People don't have a lot, very little, but they're clean, spotlessly clean, and happy, lovely smiley faces. And that smiley face want to give it on to other people who don't have a smile.
And feeding children for free throughout the school holidays. Mama Flo is an important part of the local community. Today she's put a special party on for children heading back to school.
When you come, you don't feel like you're coming for free food. She gives the children big hugs, doesn't she? Yeah. She's like a grandma to them, even though she's not a grandma.
Mama Flo has not just been feeding children. During the pandemic, she fed doctors, nurses and anyone who needed food.
I started giving away free food ages ago for people who don't have any money. Sometimes they come and they say, Mama Flo, that's all I have. I just take it, throw it in the till. I don't even count it.
But how does she do it? Well, Mama Flo puts it down to her loyal customers and some high-profile footballers who leave pretty big tips.
Hi guys, who is having fried chicken over here with rice and peas?
Her customers have become her extended family. Matthew loves Mama Flo's dumplings and has come along to get some.
It's the first I saw him since COVID, and I'm so excited.
Mama Flo says the cost of living crisis has made things worse for families, but while she's able, no one will go hungry.
It's a culture. That's our culture. We don't like to see people go hungry.
Tasha Kachiri, ITV News, Stockport.
What a heartwarming story. Now, thanks so much to Karen, who emailed us to tell us about Mama Flo. What a lovely lady.
I bet their school dinners won't be as good as that,
No
will
way,
they?
no way.
Time for some sport now, and the Merseyside derby. Here's Claire.
Yeah, we're only a few weeks in, aren't we, to the new season, and already one of the highlights is here. Goodison Park is the venue for tomorrow lunchtime's Premier League showdown between Everton and Liverpool. Now, both clubs pulled off transfer deadline day signings yesterday. Brazil midfielder Arthur Melo moves to Liverpool on loan from Juventus, and Idrissa Gana Gueye rejoins Everton from Paris Saint-Germain on a 2-year deal.
The manager called me and explained to me how he want to play, how he want me to come back home and try to help the team to achieve our goal. So it was not a difficult decision for me because I love this club.
He's a really good footballer. I think we agree all on that. Of course, it's like this. Why can you loan a player like this? Because it didn't work out 100% at Juventus. But I see that rather as a positive because the potential is for sure still there.
It's my first at Goodison, so I'm excited about that fact, knowing that we'll have a home crowd behind us before the game, during the game, and we have to perform with the same passion that they're going to turn up with.
Last few years I'm involved in most of these draws, and the games were still all different, just intense, a lot of fight.
Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola says he needed to bring new signing Manuel Akanji in to get through the schedule before the Winter World Cup because of injuries to the squad. Akanji's come in on a 5-year deal from Borussia Dortmund.
He's such perfect. What we need is fast and really good in the build-up. We knew it. We felt it when we played against Dortmund 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago. And yeah, very pleased they are here and a good competition for all centre defenders.
Getting that winning feeling. FOW, sponsors of the Granada Sport Report.
Now a look ahead to a big night of boxing in Liverpool tomorrow with Natasha Jonas fighting to unify the WBO and WBC super welterweight world titles. Her fight is part of a packed card at the M&S Bank Arena and it's the first time she's fought in her hometown for 3 years. We caught up with Natasha and a few others at Anfield earlier this week.
Feels like it was forever ago when I was last there. So yeah, it's just, you know, giving the city something to smile about, being positive, and yeah, just having all my friends, all my family being able to celebrate with me.
Coming home has never been so big for Natasha, with tomorrow night set to be a career-defining moment. Her road here has been a rocky one. She was the first British woman to box at the Olympics, but didn't reach medal stages. series. Her first world title fight ended in a draw, but after moving up 4 weights in February this year, she finally achieved her dream, winning the WBO belt. And now the chance to become undisputed world champion when she takes on WBC champion Patricia Bergholt from Sweden.
I'm expecting 10 hard rounds. You know, she's had a good amateur career. I remember her from the amateurs. She's been excellent as a pro and been flawless. She hasn't been beaten yet, but I want to be the person to give her that first one.
And she's hoping being in front of her home crowd will give her the advantage.
There's everything you want on a card. You know, there's prospects coming through. There's world title challenges, and obviously it's the derby as well earlier that day. So you'll have all Scousers together.
One of those Scousers, Liam Smith, from the prolific Smith boxing family and the former light middleweight champion. There's no title at stake here, but it's still a big night.
I think just a win at any cost puts me back in line for challenging for world titles again. I've got very good rankings with all the governing bodies, so a win and it keeps me on the path to becoming a world champion again.
Another Smith on the card, not a Scouser, but Clark Smith from Manchester, making his professional debut. And already, looks-wise, he is being compared to the man regarded as the best boxer in the world right now.
Even as an amateur, I've had people in the changing room. Do you know who you like? I mean, you don't even have to say it. I know what you're going to say. But yeah, Baby Canelo, Cinnamon Kid, all that sort of, yeah. But listen, there's worse people I could have been compared to.
And it looks like the man himself, the Mexican Canelo Alvarez, does agree. He's even sent Clark this message.
Clarence Smith, hey, good luck, my friend. All the best for your career.
When you hear someone that big say your name, it's just crazy. But yeah, it was really, really nice. Come fight week, you know, just a nice little touch.
Claire, thanks very much for that. Now, it's probably the biggest night in the calendar for Blackpool.
Yes, it's almost time for those famous illuminations to be switched on. So we're not going to waffle on any longer. We're going live to Blackpool now. And our reporter, Victoria Grimes. Vicky, this is always a great night, isn't it?
It certainly is, and you not waffle on, Michael. You never waffle, never at all. It is, it's a wonderful night back in the Blackpool Tower Ballroom, would you believe? And look how many people are here. Hello, you lot. So we've got a gang up there, then we've got all this lot down here as well. Look. Everyone is in a pretty good mood tonight. That's because they know they're going to see some of the biggest music stars of our generation here tonight for the 143rd Blackpool Lights switch on. And there's Isla up there. She was desperate to get a wave and say hello to her grandma. There she is. Hi, Isla. Thanks for that. Come on, follow me down the stairs. Be careful, jam the cam. Glenn has been working very hard in the production, so hard that he's hurt himself. You're right, Glenn?
I'm good. Yeah, we're getting better, though.
He's getting better. He's keeping us going. Well, let's come and meet some of those who are here tonight, because everyone seems to be very excited about meeting one person in particular. Who are you most excited to see?
Tom Grennan.
Tom Grennan? Tom Grennan? Who are you most excited to see?
Tom Grennan.
Tom Grennan. And who is the world's biggest Tom Grennan fan? Tom Grennan. Have we got a Tom Grennan fan? I believe we may have a little surprise for you ladies, because the one and only Mr. Tom Grennan.
How are you? You all right? You excited? Good.
This is your biggest fan.
From Blackpool, where are you from? Oh, nice. Well, welcome to Blackpool, and I'm excited to be here.
I love it. You're saying welcome to Blackpool like you're from Blackpool, but you're not from Blackpool.
I am tonight.
I
am tonight, yeah, for
Tom,
sure.
This is your first Illuminations,
This
first
is.
time performing as well.
Yeah.
What can the fans expect?
Listen, we're going to dance. We're in a ballroom, so we're going to dance, we're going to have fun, and high energy. I feel like everybody right now just needs to have a bit of fun and forget about everything that's going on, because life is very, very crazy right now for a lot of people.
Indeed.
And it's a tough time for a lot of people. So I just want to hopefully allow people to escape and sing and have fun.
That's brilliant. Well, we're looking forward to seeing it. I know
Nice
you've got a
one.
new album coming out very soon. You can tell your fans about that now. I'm going to leave you with them. Look after him.
Thank you.
Look after him. Right. Now, Tom Grennan is obviously a big star here who everyone's really, really excited to see. But we can only go higher by one person than Tom Grennan, and that is Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen. Here he is, the man himself. Lawrence, you're switching on the lights.
I'm switching on the lights, so I still keep pinching myself. I can't quite believe I've reached this position, this accolade, that I'm now following in the hoof steps of Red Rum. is amazing.
It is absolutely extraordinary because you've been working on Blackpool Lights for so long. It's only right that they've finally asked you to do the big.
Well, it is. I mean, it is. I've been working with the lights for about 15 years, but I mean, it just so happens that actually this year we've done such a big thing with the Golden Mile. We've got the new neon illuminations out, which have that very kind of elegant, very deco feel to them. So I love the idea that actually tonight's party is going back towards the illuminations, celebrating what makes it special.
A wonderful party. And who needs Johnny Vegas when you've got Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen?
Johnny Vegas!
Lawrence Llewellyn and Tom Grennan, what more could you want? Back to you.
Brilliant. A bit surreal at the end there. Now, last night, Joe told us summer was over. What's going to happen this weekend?
Why do I need a shower? I've been out in the rain.
The faster you go, the sooner you'll be out. You'll save water too.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Thank you. A very good evening to you. The weather is here, our first weekend of meteorological autumn, and it's all looking quite unsettled thanks to the dominance of low pressure through the weekend and into next week. For us, that means heavy showers tomorrow, rain on Sunday, and temperatures are above average for the time of year, so quite a warm, muggy feel. And in the sunshine, probably quite pleasant. But low pressure is building to the southwest of the UK, and that will be throwing in quite a few fronts through the weekend and into next week. For us in the northwest, that means those heavy showers during the day tomorrow, and on Sunday, cloudy conditions with a spell of rain that will be rather heavy, perhaps even some spray on the roads and surface flooding. In the meantime, this evening, 1 or 2 showers cropping up along the Lancashire coast there, Merseyside, and the Isle of Man bearing the brunt of some heavy downpours this evening before things settle down across the board overnight tonight. A few mist patches, maybe some fog before dawn, and temperatures down to around 14 or 15 Celsius, so a warm night to come with a breeze picking up into the early hours of Saturday. And those are the sun times. It's up at 6:22, setting tomorrow at 7:57. Saturday could be a bit misty and murky to start with, and we'll see some showers for western fringes from the word go, quite heavy ones for the Isle of Man. Later on, we could all catch a downpour, particularly Pennine areas. We'll see some hail and hear thunder, but they're sweeping up fairly promptly in between warm sunny spells and that humid feel. 22 or 23 Celsius tomorrow afternoon. More cloud around across the board on Sunday and rain moving in. It's still quite warm though. Low pressure will be in charge for next week, so expect further spells of rain. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Thanks, Joe. That's it for Granada Reports for another week. I'll be back with our late news after news at 10.
By the time we go on air on Monday night, we will have a new Prime Minister. Fair to say they've got 1 or 2 issues to deal with.
You're not wrong there. But for now, thanks for watching and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.